Hello, hello, it's Simone. Today I have a little tutorial for you. In May, actually, I made this little box from my pattern paper from the May Planner Kit, and I thought I would share with you how I actually made this box because it's really, really easy. All you need to have is a piece of pattern paper, and it doesn't even have to be double-sided. Scissors, a bone folder would be really good to have, and glue. Or if you don't have a bone folder, a pencil or the end of your scissors works really well too. So because it's really hard to see on the pattern paper what we need to do, I thought I would show it to you on white paper. And the first thing we want to do is make the paper square if it isn't already. For that, you just fold it on the diagonal and line one side, one edge. You line it up on the one side and then you just cut the excess off on the folding line and then you have a square. So that's what I'm going to do with my pattern paper. And this pattern paper, it is an exclusive paper for Cocoa Daisy, is pretty thick, and that's why your creases won't be as noticeable and nice if you don't have anything to really make them creasy. Let's make creasy creases. And yeah, so I'm repeating the steps on the pattern paper. And then what you do is you simply go and fold the paper in all directions you can imagine. So I'll open this back up and then I'll continue with the white paper. So what I did was I folded it on the other diagonal, then I folded it on this diagonal, and then you go open it back up again and bring the top, what do you call it, the corner, to the middle of the paper. And then you do that for all four corners as well. And I'm going to speed the video up right now. And yeah, so I'm showing this to you again, and then you just you fold it like an envelope basically. And then you have the first one. So now that you have this, you will go back to the right to the real paper and fold it as well. And then once you're done with this, you even need more folds. So I will have a paper later on, the white paper later on, showing you how many creases you have, because as I predicted, the creases and the folds are not really to be seen very easily. And now you take that one corner and bring it back to the intersection of the fold. Can you see that? Back up there. So this is what you do next. You fold it, and then I try to use my pen to show it to you what you have to do. And again, it's not really visible with the final result, but I'm so happy that I took the white paper. Okay, so we're going to do that again. What would you call this? It's the intersection of the diagonal and the first one fold line. So that's all we did. And usually it works really well when you align the edge of the corner up at the top and then go down with your finger down in the middle and go out from the center, and then you usually have a really good straight fold line. What I did then, as you can see, you take the edges and then fold them in one more time, and this is when you don't use the intersection on the opposite side, but the one that is nearest to you, if that makes sense, any sense at all. So we will need these not to actually fold. No, you don't need them to fold, but this is where we start cutting later. So now I'm using these markers. So the purple fold is the first one you do. So it's the diagonal. Then the green ones are the next one. That is, you go with the corner to the middle of the intersection of the two diagonal folds. That's the green ones. Then you take the orange and then you use you go to the intersection that you just created with your folds. So these are the next ones, and these are all you actually need. Okay, so and then you take your scissors, and I will show this to you first. So there is a little tiny square. If you actually look at the white paper or at the pattern paper, there is a square in the middle of the folds, and I'm going to mark it for you so that you can actually see what I mean. And you cut to that intersection of fold lines. And then the one that I'm shading right now, this is the dimension of your square box at the end. So the bigger the paper, the bigger the box you will end up with. And I will have the measurements in the end so that you can see how big a box will be if you use a 6x6 paper. So you take your scissors and only do not cut the edges, the triangles that you have there out, but you just use one of those as cutting lines. So I chose those. It doesn't really matter which ones you choose, but you only need to make 4 cuts in total. That's what it looks like now. So I do this here as well, and to have it more visible, I'm actually using the outside because the pattern paper on the inside is so so busy that it's not, I can't really see what I'm doing there. I'm making sure that I'm only cutting to the intersection of the fold lines here, and then let's continue. So now you are turning the paper so that the fold lines are parallel to your working station, and now we are going to use that green fold line, and we use glue and just put on a really tiny spot just to make it easier to work with. You wouldn't really have to use glue at all. This works without, but it's just more stable and easier to work with when you actually use glue. Okay, so now this is what we did. We made the two sides of the box. So we repeat this. You fold in the green line, then you fold up, you fold it in again, and then you fold in the two edges there and create the sides of the box with this. Now I'm going back and opening these up again and just adding some glue so that those will stick together here and there. And again, it doesn't really need to stick. It's just helping us so that it doesn't really spring open again. So I'm repeating this with my tiny box. I'm folding in the edge on the green line. And now you can see why you need those fold lines, because you need to fold it up, and then it's good when you have the creases already there. So I'm making the base for the box right now, or the sides for the box. And those two little things that I'm gluing together right now, they will be, the other paper will be folded over. So now I'm using the glue again and just making it sticky, and then I'm just folding it up and folding it around the side that is already there, and yeah, so it's basically just done. And that is the little teeny tiny box to store, or you put your die cuts on your table or on your wherever you go, and have them right beside you, and then you can actually get to use all of them. So yeah, that's what I did with the green box, and now I think I will be back with some measurements, so just so that you know how big these boxes are. They are actually pretty perfect for my little planner station. I will link the video in the description box below where I introduce that to you. But for your information, so this box that I used here, that was an 8.5 by 11 letter size paper, which will then in turn make an 8.5 by 8.5 inch square. And if you use that as your base for the box, you will end up with a box, surface, or what is it called? The surface area, bottom area of, so it has a bottom area of 7.8 square centimeters. Well, not, it has, the two sides of the square are 7.8 centimeters each. And in inch, that is, where am I going to write this? 3 inches. So the sides of the square are 3 inches. And then I have this box that I just made from a 6 by 6 piece of cardstock, and that then has a square. The length of the sides of that square are 2 1/4 inch each, and that is 5.5 centimeters. So that was my little tutorial, and if you make one of those boxes, please share a link to where you shared it below. I would love to see it. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. I appreciate each and every one of them. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.